Today, Left 4 Dead may be coming back to life, which I guess isn't that surprising for a literal zombie game. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint. Join us as we take shelter under a tiny cocktail umbrella and prepare for the incoming tsunami of gaming conventions.
And if you find yourself interacting with any game people, game company PR people in the next few weeks, please be gentle. With GDC, C2E2, and PAX East happening back to back to back, they may be in a rather fragile state.
In an inspiring story that proves you're never too old to turn your hobby into your side hustle, a 70-year-old Pokemon Go player is now working as a brand ambassador for ASUS. Chen Sanyuan went viral several months ago with his bicycle tricked out to carry 11 smartphones at once as an effective way to get around town and play Pokemon Go on multiple accounts. He later constructed a body harness to carry even more phones and get into spots he couldn't before. ASUS saw an opportunity here, and Chen is now a brand ambassador for their new budget phone, the Zenfone Max Pro M2. As part of the promotion, he now has a new bike rig that carries 21 Zenphones, which should afford him enough accounts to take over a gym, overthrow it himself, then repeat ad infinitum in a hell loop of cuddly carnage. We here at CheckPoint congratulate Chen Sanyuan on his success. This gives me hope that when I enter my twilight years, I too will turn whatever weird thing I've started doing to run out the clock into a way to afford the basic necessities of life.
Do you remember cooperative multiplayer shooter Left 4 Dead? The franchise became a breakout hit for Valve 10 years ago, and since then the company has capitalized on its success by stopping all development. Luckily for fans of the series, though, Warner Bros. Interactive has decided Left 4 Dead deserves a fate better than the one ironically mirroring its title, and have hired the game's original developers, Turtle Rock, to make Back 4 Blood, a spiritual successor that will have the same creators, the same development team, the same zombie shooting flavor, and the same lack of a battle royale mode. For now, that's all we know, but if any publishers out there want to start looking at a game called, like, Radioactive Decay, I bet there's a bunch of ex-Valve employees that would be interested to hear your pitch.
Axiom Verge is getting its newest physical release on the Nintendo Wii U. Most developers figure the Wii U is well past the point of needing to release physical versions, so why do this now? This story is incredibly complicated, so I'll do my best to boil it down. Axiom Verge developer Tom Happ works with distributor Limited Run Games to make physical editions. Limited Run Games orders 6,000 copies of Axiom Verge through BadLand Games for $78,000. Limited Run never receives those copies. Lawsuit, lawsuit, lawsuit. BadLand Games shuts down, and a new company with the same CEO called BadLand Publishing appears and is making money by publishing physical games. Limited Run still never sees its lost $78,000 or the 6,000 games it orders. This all just seems like businesses fighting businesses, and sure, maybe we could just shrug our shoulders and ignore it, but something more dickish has come to light. Part of the reason that Tom Happ and Limited Run Games made a deal with BadLand Games was because BadLand was going to establish a fund for Tom's son, Alistair, a medical fund. This fund was to offset the cost of treatments for Alistair's rare neurological disorder, treatments that are not covered by insurance. And now BadLand Games has bailed on their promise to help a kid. This story was supposed to be about an obsolete console getting a physical game release well after anyone wanted it, and instead we're now up to our knees in dog shit. Good to see 2018 continuing on well into its 15th month.
In other Steam news, Valve has announced it will start filtering out review bombs from its online storefront. Review bombing, deluges of negative reviews that are designed to punish a game's developers or publishers for reasons that typically have nothing to do with the actual game being reviewed, have long been a problem on the surface, but until now, Valve has been content to acknowledge that there's a problem, but not attempt to actually discourage it in any meaningful way. Going forward, however, Valve has announced it will no longer factor scores received while people were attempting to review bomb a game into its overall rating. To do this, Valve first uses an algorithm to detect what it calls anomalous review activity, and then forwards that information to an honest-to-God actual human who will determine if the game is suddenly being panned because it just came out and is legit bad, or because a subreddit has decided to punish someone for being an SJW. If a title is found to have been on the receiving end of a review bomb, all review scores received in that period will be removed from the game's rating. Interestingly, Valve has also determined that review bombs related to DRM software and EULA agreements will also be off-topic. The reasoning is that they are actually really niche complaints, and any Steam users who actually care can still read the text of the review bomb reviews and make their own purchasing decisions accordingly. Overall reaction to the announcement has been very positive, but this now marks 2 weeks in a row where we've reported on Valve actually trying to fix a problem with Steam, and I'm honestly starting to get a little scared.
And in other changes, scary news, a reminder next week, CheckPoint will be off, as Kathleen and I will both be away due to C2E2.
But don't worry, if you watch on Twitch, we'll be leaving you in the capable hands of Heather and Paul for ChillPoint, the casual video game news discussion show.
I, for one, am looking forward to a little vacation.
Traveling from one con to another isn't a vacation, Beige.
We work on the internet, Kathleen. That's as close as I'm ever going to get.
Coming up, dealing with constant negativity and active hostility makes developers far less likely to interact with online communities, according to BioWare's community manager. This isn't news, nor is it funny. I just put it here as a reminder.
It's a very important point, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Just like, no shit, Sherlock. If you treat people like garbage, they don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, how about that?